11 a.m. for my weekly show, The Home Team, heard right here on the TAN Talk Radio Network and Facebook Live. The Home Team with Paul Porter, talking Lightning, Bucks, Rays, USF, and a whole lot more. Your calls and prize giveaways. Join us this Saturday and every Saturday morning for The Home Team, 9 to 11 on the TAN Talk Radio Network.
This is the TAN Talk Radio Network.
The Rays have won the American League pennant. The Tampa Bay Lightning win their second straight Stanley Cup. And when the Super Bowl ended, the ball would be in the hands of Tom Brady. I don't know why we ever think it won't.
It's time for the Father and Sons Home Team on the TAN Talk Radio Network and Facebook Live. The Home Team is brought to you by Father and Sons Windows and Doors, locally owned and operated with offices in Tampa Bay and Orlando. Visit them on the web at faswd.com and mention the Home Team for special pricing. And now, here he is, the arena voice of the Tampa Bay Lightning and the press box voice of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Paul Porter.
Thank you very much, Brother Pat. That's my brother there doing the intro for me, and we appreciate it and welcome to the Home Team on a beautifully gorgeous Saturday morning. If you like rain. Yeah. But boy, do we need the rain. So it's been so dry. True. A lot of lawns are just very crispy and needed that rain. So good to have you with us, and look forward to a fun couple of hours here on the program today. Jason is out. We expect that he'll be calling in a little bit later on in the program. But we're very happy to have here Jake Noyes and his dad, Matt, sponsor of the program as well with your firm, Matt. And welcome, both of you. Glad to have you both in studio.
Thank you. It's really great to be here.
Well, we appreciate you being here. And Matt, we appreciate you being here as well. And lots to get to today. We're going to test your knowledge too, Jake, a little bit about a baseball trivia question. So that'll be coming up at the top of the hour. We'll see how you do with that. And it's also going to be open to all of our viewers on Facebook Live. We've got a number of things to talk about today. I just got back from the West Coast. I was recording for NBA 2K out there and got to experience California traffic for a whole week, which is just amazing. I have never seen more roads, or actually lane ends, merge than I've seen in the Los Angeles area. I mean, it's like you go 100 feet, lane ends, right lane a turn only. Now you're on a new freeway, and it can be very confusing. But all in all, we really certainly do enjoy the time recording with NBA 2K, and that'll be NBA 2K 26.
It's very cool.
Coming up. Yeah. So that'll be coming out, I believe, right around the middle of September is when that actually hits. So look forward to that, and want to get your thoughts. Last night, the Rays drop a 2-1 game on a walk-off home run in the bottom of the ninth inning. And Jake, what are your thoughts on analytics and pitch count and all of that? Ryan Pepio sailing along through 7 innings, gives up a base hit in the 8th, and they take him out, go to the bullpen, and ends up in the bottom of the 9th. The Clevenger gives up the home run, and the Astros win it when it looked like Pepio was just sailing along.
I mean, honestly, pitch count, it is to protect your pitchers, but with Ryan Pipiot going 7 strong, he only needed 1 more out. I would have let him go. I mean, sure, it's a few extra pitches, but I think he really wanted it. And if you were watching the game, it panned to him into the dugout, and he looked pretty upset about it. So I would have left him in, an extra guy. And I mean, if he did give up another base hit, then that's time you go to the bullpen, but it really depends on how he feels.
I'm right there with you.
It was scary because Kevin Kelly came in, and Kevin Kelly was just brought back.
Yeah, he hadn't pitched in a while.
Yeah, and he gave up a base hit right away. It was like, oh my goodness, Ryan's going to lose it.
And then Clevenger comes in the 9th, and he gets the first 2 batters, but then last one, home run.
It is hard. It's hard to watch. Ryan Pepio, he's a quiet he's a quiet leader, but he's been leading the team. He's been doing really well.
Yeah. It's one of those things, I guess, and the analytics also come into play where they say if there's a runner on second and less than 2 out, then you should throw this kind of a pitch. And I don't know. The game has gotten complicated.
Right.
And I don't know.
Well, Jacob's a left-handed pitcher, and so he gets to play that role a little bit in his high school days, and he will in college too. It's the strategy, and that's one thing people don't appreciate about baseball, I think, while watching it, is how much strategy is involved of, okay, what's the count, who's on base, where are they positioned, what pitch am I going to throw? People think they just throw regular pitches, but no, that's all strategy out there.
Oh, for example, Jake, you're a left-handed pitcher, right?
Yes,
okay,
sir.
So do you feel more comfortable throwing to left-handed hitters? Because you always hear, we're going to bring in the right-hander because they got a whole bunch of left-handers coming up. Do you feel different pitching to a left-handed hitter versus a right-handed hitter?
Not a really big difference. It's more on how I attack the batter, whether with a right-hander. You start with your fastball first, but left-handed, you want to see where his swing at, where his bat path is. So you'll throw off speed to him, mostly a curveball probably. That's what I was told in high school. So left-handed, throw curveball first, see how he's doing. But again, it is strategy. So I would attack a left-handed batter different than a right-handed batter.
Didn't realize that all of that came into play, all the different things. How many pitches are in your repertoire?
Probably 4 right now. So I got a 4-seam fastball, 2-seam, a slider, and a curveball.
Okay. So, all right.
I'm glad he didn't mention his changeup, because you gotta duck and cover when he starts throwing his changeup.
That's a work in progress.
All right. Well, there's some interesting facts behind the scenes there, as far as what goes on, as far as all of the different things that go into it. I see Donald watching on Facebook Live. He said the fish are already wet. He's normally out fishing, but not a good day for fishing today, unfortunately. But anyway, we want to say hello to Bill and Lori watching on Facebook Live. Always good to see you. David Alexander is going to be joining us. David is our Canadian correspondent from 4680Q. He's going to be joining us in about an hour from now at 10:15. The Canadians are all putting their hope on the Edmonton Oilers. The last Canadian team still alive, a rematch from last year. And now it comes down to me at least, I don't know, I see how you guys feel about this, the lesser of two evils. On one hand, I want to keep the Stanley Cup in the U.S. On the other hand, I don't want to see the Florida Panthers win again.
Amen.
So I'm slightly leaning towards the Oilers, rooting for the Oilers in this, just because I can't stand the Panthers and I don't want them to get back-to-back Stanley Cups like the Lightning did. So, Jake, how do you feel about it? Who are you rooting for?
I am rooting for the Edmonton Oilers, although I would like the Stanley Cup to be in the U.S. I think it's time for Canada to get their one Stanley Cup and then wait another 20 years to get it back. I just don't want the Panthers to get it because, frankly, it's Edmonton's time, and it would add to Connor McDavid's resume, and that would solidify his Hall of Fame career.
Yeah, well, I mean, you can make an argument both ways. So, Matt, how do you feel about it?
Well, I always like it. If we're going to be knocked out by somebody, let them go all the way, because then we got knocked out by the champion.
That's true.
But that being said,
it's the Panthers.
I can't root for the Panthers either, though. So I hope it just ends up in a tie, 3.5, and nobody gets the Stanley Cup and just have to do it again.
I'll tell you the thing that bothers me the most about the Panthers, and it's not Brad Marchand, and it's not their physical bully type of play. It's the fans. If you go to a Panther game in October or November, maybe 5,000-6,000 people there. Now that they're in the Stanley Cup Finals, it's time to show up at the arena.
Oh, goodness.
Everybody get the bandwagon over here, and now we're all going to the arena.
Yep.
Jake, I see you shaking your head. You feel the same way about
Yes, because I've had the experience because me and my dad went to their arena, and when we went, it was quietly dead. And this was like when they were ramping up to be the Stanley Cup final contenders. It was dead. And then fast forward a year, they're in the final. It's packed. It's like, if you're a really true fan of the Panthers, you're there, the 5,000, 6,000, but then the bandwagons come and they'll fill that arena up. So
and it's like that, really. I mean, we see the Miami Marlins, and they maybe have 2,000 people there, including the players and concession workers and security guards and ushers and everything. Miami is just a front-running town, I think. They don't show up until – it's going for a championship.
It is amazing. I mean, there's a lot of people
Yeah.
in the Miami area. There's no reason why the stadiums aren't being filled up.
Even the Heat don't draw when they're not winning,
Yeah.
like this year. They don't get good crowds there at all. So Donald points out that's the way it was for the Bucks in the old sombrero. You put a ticket on your windshield available for somebody, and you come back and there's two more there. So that's how
I remember those days. That was a little tough to watch the orange Buccaneers. That's for sure.
Yeah, that was kind of tough. So we wait and see. It starts on Wednesday night, and I'm happy to say that both the Stanley Cup Finals and the NBA Finals are on alternating days. So they don't make you choose. I believe that is because ABC has the rights for both of them. So is that correct, Matt? Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, they do. ABC will be broadcasting the NBA Finals. TNT has the NHL.
Oh, okay. So TNT is not the same company, though.
No, that's Turner Sports. It's two different entities.
I actually thought it was ABC and ESPN that were splitting the two.
Nope. TNT has the NBA TNT has the NHL. ABC has the NBA Finals exclusively.
Okay, so that being the case, they didn't have to make it so that they were on alternate nights, but I'm glad they did. So,
well, I'm surprised it's on TNT because I mean it's the Stanley Cups. Let's put it on a bigger network where more people.
That's how
follow.
I feel.
And, and I mean, even if you watch like Good Morning America or any of the national news stations, they'll talk about the NBA finals, but they'll never talk about the hockey finals.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, come on,
yeah,
there's another championship going on, and so
we're not carrying it, so we're not talking about
that's
it.
right.
So, but, anyway, I want to get your thoughts on a couple of different things. Probably one of the best kept secrets are the Tampa Bay Sun. Do you know what the Tampa Bay Sun are, Jake?
Isn't that the women's soccer team?
Very good.
Yeah.
Very good. A lot of people don't know that.
Asking a 19-year-old about a woman's sports team,
Oh,
he'll know
okay.
that.
There you go. Yeah, they've got some pretty attractive young ladies that play on that team. That's for sure. But they have a playoff game coming up 1 week from tonight at the stadium there at Blake High School. And
is that where they play?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And they play their games right there. It's right on the riverfront near Armature Works. And one of our sponsors, the Pirate Water Taxi, actually provides free shuttles from the Armature Works over to the soccer stadium.
Oh,
they take you right across the river there. But that's next Saturday, a playoff game. And a lot of people, I didn't know there was a women's soccer team. Yeah, there is. And they deserve your support. So
two of my legal assistants' daughters play soccer, so they probably know about it. But
no question. Something I want to throw out there, and it's this, and I know Jason's on hold, and I know he'll make a comment about it, but you're at a hockey game, you're at a Lightning game, the Lightning score, the red light comes on, the goal horn blasts, people are emphatically cheering, and then you hear, Boston is challenging that the play was offsides. And it's, and DJ Bolt, the guy who plays all the music there. It's under review, is playing the song by the Beatles, Let It Be.
Yeah.
Let It Be. What do you think? I know accuracy is important, Jake, but what do you think about the replays the 3 to 5 minute delays that you have to wait until they get their laptops out and look at those, and the headsets go on and you hear "Let It Be" all the way through, and then finally they put the headset on and they say, "After further review, the play was offsides, no goal." Really, I think cheats the fans. What do you think?
100%, but also if during the Stanley Cup playoffs, it should be more accurate, but like during a regular season, it shouldn't take 3 to 5 minutes. I mean, from where I sit, 300 levels to 100 levels, you can see clearly it's offsides. And the reviews, it takes away a lot of the momentum, especially say the Lightning are losing 3-2 and they score the tying goal. Well, then you take it away. It takes the fans out of the game. It takes the spiritness out of the Lightning bench, and they have to try to go get that game tying goal again. So it's good and bad. It depends on how long it takes to, like the 3 to 5 minutes, it's too long.
Well, the thing that bothers me is if a play is offsides entering into the offensive zone and play continues for 90 seconds or 2 minutes and several passes are made and a shot is taken and a rebound comes out and another shot is taken and it goes in and everybody's going crazy, and then they say, nope, 90 seconds ago they entered the offensive zone offsides.
And that had nothing
to
do
to the play.
Nothing to do with the play, nothing to do with the goal. That's why I think those kind of calls are unnecessary. I mean, if it had to do with the actual shot that was being made at the time,
Right.
if it's
Offside pass or something like that.
goalie interference or anything like that, okay, you can review those. But something that happened a minute, 2 minutes ago that has absolutely nothing to do with the goal,
Yeah.
it seems kind of silly. And I agree with Jacob. It takes away the momentum of not just the team, but also the fans, you know?
Yeah, I
So.
totally concur. Well, let's do this. Let's hit our first break. And then when we come back, both Donald and Jason are going to join us. They're waiting on the phone lines. We have one more line available for you. We still have 3 phone lines, right, Matt? Okay. Or 4, actually. Okay, good. So got a couple lines available for you. 727-441-3000. 727-441-3000. If you want to join us, feel free to do so. More of the home team coming up here on the TAN Talk Radio Network, the father and son home team, AM 1340 and 1350, FM 106.1, 102.3, and Facebook
Live.
This is the TAN Talk Radio Network.
For the first time ever, the home team is endorsing a place for all of you fishermen. And the winner is Betts Fishing Center on Starkey Road, just a half mile south of Ulmerton Road in Largo. Betts, that's Betts, is open 7 days a week from 9 to 6 Monday through Saturday and 9 to 4 on Sunday. Everything you need from clothing to AFCO and skinny water culture to Shimano and Daiwa reels. They also do repair of your equipment. Betts Fishing Center on Starkey Road, just a half mile south of Ulmerton in Largo, and online at customfishing.com.
If you suffered damage from either or both Hurricanes Helene or Milton and are in need of some new windows or a new door, FAS Windows and Doors is the place to turn. Locally owned and operated, they can get you the best possible products at the best possible price. Right now, they're offering a $100 rebate on all windows and a $200 rebate on all doors. Financing is available with no payments, no interest, and no money down for 24 months. Just go to their website, faswd.com. That's faswd.com to schedule an appointment and check out their inventory. It pays to shop local and to go to a company that stands behind both their products and their service. Tell them you heard about them on the home team with Paul Porter, and they'll take special care of you. There when you need them, FAS Windows and Doors, faswd.com. The best mascot in sports is coming back to Baycare Ballpark to cheer on the Threshers. On Friday, June 6th, the Philly Fanatic returns to Clearwater. The Fanatic will be up to his typical shenanigans with Finley and Threshers fans all game long. Stay after the game for a country music concert by Tampa band Crossfire Creek. presented by Sun Cruiser. Get your tickets now to see the Philly Fanatic and the local country band Crossfire Creek on Friday, June 6th at Baycare Ballpark on ThreshersBaseball.com. Sooner or later, you're going to need a plumber. It's just a fact of life. Want somebody honest and reliable? The plumber I use is the Bearded Plumber. I've known Thomas since his high school days and now is an established plumber who offers 24-hour-a-day full service because plumbing emergencies don't wait. Keep this number handy. You know you're going to need it. It's 866-882-3273. The Bearded Plumber, 866-882-3273.
Life Builders Christian Counseling Center brings hurting people to wholeness in Christ. Life Builders is a professional counseling center with multiple counselors and locations in Brandon and Tampa. They offer in-person, Zoom, and group sessions, counseling individuals, married couples, children and adolescents, and families. Some of our licensed counselors take most insurances. Call 813-438-5949 or visit lifebuilderscounseling.org. Life Builders can help. 813-438-5949 and at lifebuilderscounseling.org.
Hi, everyone. I'm Paul Porter, voice of the Lightning and host of the Home Team Sports Radio Show. I'm here to tell you about our educational home team, Cambridge Christian School. No longer Tampa Bay's best-kept secret, CCS is the perfect blend of academic rigor and a biblical worldview foundation, serving families for over 60 years. Come see why we are the #1 rated Christian school in Tampa and visit us at ccslancers.com.
Family owned and operated, T&D Golf on West Waters Avenue in Tampa is the place to find everything you need for your golfing experience at affordable prices. Club repair is available as well. As a longtime sponsor of the home team, T&D wants to make sure you get the very best quality at a price you can afford. Open at 4205 West Waters Avenue, half-mile west of Northdale Mabry, Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. and Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. T&D Golf, making golf affordable.
My favorite restaurant in all of Tampa Bay is J. Alexander's at the corner of Dale, Mabry, and Cypress, just south of I-275 in Tampa. The prime rib is to die for. Steaks are just as mouthwatering, and that's not all. Seafood like salmon, ahi tuna, shrimp, or crab cakes. Don't forget the salads and appetizers like my favorite French onion soup, and top it all off with a homemade dessert. J. Alexander's in Tampa at Dale, Mabry, and Cypress, just south of 275. Open 7 days, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Reservations suggested but not necessary.
The Florida State Fairgrounds is home to so much more than just the fair that runs every February. Concerts, trade shows, conferences, and competitions are all just a few of the things you'll find at the Florida State Fairgrounds and Mid-Florida Credit Union Amphitheater all year long. For the very latest information and schedules, visit floridastatefair.com. The Florida State Fair and so much more, all happening at the Florida State Fairgrounds and Mid-Florida Credit Union Amphitheater. We'll see you at the Florida State Fairgrounds.
Now let's get back to the home team with the arena voice of the Tampa Bay Lightning and press box voice of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Paul Porter.
Thank you very much, and welcome back to the home team. Want to mention the reason I have particular sponsors on, I don't have a sponsor on unless I have used them or I have thoroughly researched them, which is the case with your firm, Matt, which we'll talk about in just a bit.
Sure.
But this week, or this past week or two, property I have out on St. Pete Beach needed a water heater. Weren't getting any hot water. It kept tripping the fuse box. So I called the Bearded Plumber. He sends a guy out. They took care of the problem, and hot water flowing again. So I used the Bearded Plumber myself when I needed them. And that's why we have these particular sponsors on. If you need legal help, call Matt Noyes. If you need a plumber, you call the Bearded Plumber. And that's how we're been using our sponsors for years. If you want a beautiful dinner out on the beach, you go to the Palm Pavilion on Clearwater Beach. You know, it's very simple. We try and have something for just about everything you possibly need. If you want bakery, you go to Alessi Bakery.
Yes.
Speaking of which, Jason Alessi is joining us right now.
Hello
Jason,
there.
welcome to the home team.
Thank you, guys. How you doing?
Good.
Doing
We've got
good.
Matt and Jake Noyes here today.
Yeah. Hello,
filling
Matt
in
and
for you.
Jake.
Oh,
Glad you're back in there. Good to talk to you.
Absolutely. And you're enjoying some time out at Disney, right?
We are. Yes, very nice. We have the beautiful Dolphin Hotel. This is our favorite one. We got all the great restaurants right here, wonderful pool, other hotels right in the vicinity we like to go visit. So it's fantastic.
Absolutely. And is the rain got there yet, or?
It is. It has rained a little bit. Of course, the good thing is we were a completely covered hotel, and we don't really have to go anywhere. So that's the advantage here. But we did get a nice day outside of the pool. Hopefully later on it'll slack off a little bit. I like to take a walk around the boardwalk area. There's a nice water feature in the middle, and I like doing that several times. But no, we're having a very nice time. Nice getaway.
Jason is one of those rare birds that he and his mom go to Disney and they don't go to the parks.
I can agree with that. I can go there and avoid the parks.
Yeah, there's a few people there with you if you go to the parks. Yeah.
We've been going for many years as pass holders. We went to a lot of the parks, and so we've kind of done it all there. It's just we got to the point we just love the kind of the simple things, the hotel, the grounds, the food, and that's all we need for nice relaxation.
And it's good people watching too. That's for sure.
Very, very true. We love to do that as well.
Yeah. Well, and I want to mention this comment on Facebook Live. They said maybe the refs need a break, and that's why they extend the reviews so long.
That's right.
Could be. I mean, they don't go to the bench at all. They are on their feet for the entire 60 minutes of the game. But a good comment there on Facebook Live. Well, Jason, tough game for the Rays last night. They led 1-0 for most of the game, all the way to the 8th inning. And then the old pitch count came in, and they took Ryan Pepio out after he gave up a base hit. We've been talking about pitch count and analytics and all that. What say you? Are you a fan of that? Or do you feel like if the guy says, hey, I've still got a lot left, let me have one more batter, leave him in there?
Yeah, I always say if he's doing well, leave him in. If it's not broke, don't fix it. I tend to like letting the player stay out there when he's hot, and to me, you're ultimately trying to win the game, and why mess with a good thing? That's ultimately, you think back to the 2020 World Series when Cash took Blake Snell out when it was doing so well in a 1-0 game, and the fortunes for the Rays turned very quickly for the worse.
Jake is shaking his head over that one. You remember?
Yeah,
it well,
yeah.
right?
So, I would prefer to leave the player, leave the player in. It's but these are the times we're in right now. There's the thinking you want to preserve the pitcher. You don't want the pitchers on. I mean, you see a lot of pitchers getting injured and having the Tommy John surgery. So I know that certainly is an area of concern. But ultimately, you are trying to win the game.
Yeah, but Pepio leads the starters in strikeouts too. So there's no reason to take him out. So.
Right.
Not after just giving up a single.
No.
I mean, if the next guy drills one and it's second and third and nobody out, take him out. But give him one more batter to see if he can. I mean, he might have got the next hitter to hit it in a double play and the inning's over. But not the case.
But the Rays have been playing very good baseball as of late. It's been very impressive. We hope that this can continue the rest of the season. We don't know for sure. But at least what they've shown is they have the ability to win over a long stretch, and they've also beaten very good teams in the process. So that's a good sign. We'll see how it plays out.
Jake, what did you think of the sending down a guy that really looked like a bright prospect, sending him back to the minors?
He's leading the MLB in stolen bases.
Chandler Simpson.
So, I mean, I don't mind it, but I think he should have stayed up. But it's also hard because we have a lot of our guys that we signed this offseason ready to come up because they're done with their rehab. So, maybe he can come back in September for the September call-ups, but I think he just needs a little bit more time down in Durham.
Well, they said they wanted him to work on his defense and also work on getting on base more.
He doesn't have to worry about once he's on base, it's almost for sure.
Yeah, it's like going to second automatic.
I think the last game that he played, he walked, stole second, stole third on a bad throw, ended up scoring. So we scored a run without even getting a hit.
Jason, were you surprised Chandler Simpson got sent back to AAA?
Yeah, that's actually the first time hearing about that. I was very impressed by what I saw with him, both on the bases and in the field. I mean, he made some very, very good catches for the Rays in the outfield. One game I remember going back, it kind of saved the game for them. So I thought he was very promising, and that is kind of odd that they would do that.
Well,
I hope
it's
he comes
odd,
back
but not
soon.
for the Rays. The Rays are known for doing things like that.
They didn't have a lot of choice, though. I mean, I think they only had him and one other, and I forget who the other was, but he could be a switch hitter, and so that's why they kept the switch hitter up.
Stanley Cup Finals get underway Wednesday, and then the NBA Finals on Thursday. Who are you rooting for between the Oilers and the Panthers?
Oh, I'm going for Edmonton all the way. I probably would be going for them even if Carolina had come back in that series, just because I'd like to see a Canadian team win for the first time in a while. But I'm definitely going for Edmonton there, especially over Florida. And in the NBA Finals, I'm really hoping Indiana. I think I'd like to see Indiana finish off that series with the Knicks, and I think I'm going to go for the Pacers.
Well, Oklahoma City has never won a championship, so
neither is Indiana.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So you can look at it both ways. Oklahoma City, though, just looks tough. They look like they're going to be hard to beat.
Oh, no doubt. They were the best team in the regular season by far. I mean, what did they win? It was 68 games, something like that.
Well, they were too far ahead of Cleveland, but they were a couple of games ahead of Cleveland.
Yeah, well, in the playoffs, they were much further ahead. But that's another story. Oklahoma City, they are tough. They're a very, very good team. Listen, I love it for the NBA, though. I love the parity. I love getting different teams in the mix. If it is Oklahoma City versus Indiana, you've got two smaller market teams going against each other. And to me, I think that's great to have the parity for the league, which is something we haven't seen for the NBA for just about forever. I think
the Pacers have to wrap it up tonight if they're going to do it, because if it goes to a Game 7 in New York, I think they're going to have a hard time winning that.
Yeah, it'd be good if they win tonight. I still think they can win in New York, though. They've done it twice, and but again, New York would have the momentum, so it'd be good. It would benefit them to definitely close it out tonight.
But if you have Oklahoma City and Indiana, is NBA afraid of the viewership not having a whole bunch of people watching?
Excellent point. Yeah, and the NBA would love to have the Knicks in there.
That's right.
As opposed to Indiana. So I'm going to be watching closely, Jake, for some of those quote funny calls unquote. After further review,
that's right.
There was a technical foul plus a flagrant foul. He gets 3 shots and they get possession of the ball.
That's right.
I hope that the game is called true to form. But the league wants, and ESPN and ABC wants New York. Well, they want a Game 7, but they want New York in the finals. That's for sure. Jason, before we let you go, tell us a little bit about Alessi Bakery.
Certainly. Well, look, we've always got our wonderful items, our guava turnovers, apple turnovers. We've got eclairs, cannolis, tiramisu. My personal favorite is the German chocolate cake. We have that both by the slice and by the whole cake. Chocolate buttercream coconut is outstanding. We have a wonderful deli offering a variety of sandwiches, Cuban sandwiches, Italian subs, Reubens, burgers, the hot entrees, chicken and yellow rice, roast pork, and picadillo, and our devil crabs, and, of course, our famous scacciata pizza, our cold meat pizza is our best seller. So we've got a little bit of everything. We could do specialty cakes. You can put in an order, cupcakes, cookies, just do it in a little bit of an advanced time, and we can get some wonderful cakes and cookies and cupcakes for you. So
Matt,
a little bit of everything.
Have you been to Alessi Bakery?
I've only been there a few times, and every time it's wonderful. I don't think Jacob's been there yet, but he is. I think he has to wipe off the drool off his mouth because he's sharing all those things.
Just in case people don't know where it is, give us the location, Jason.
Sure. We're at 2909 West Cypress Street, in between MacDill and Armenia. We're open 7 days a week. Monday through Friday is 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Saturdays are 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. And then Sundays, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m.
All right. Very good. Well, we certainly appreciate it. Last week was Cheeseburger Day, so I'm sure you sold a lot of cheeseburgers there at Alessi Bakery.
We do. That's one of our best sellers, our burgers. No doubt about it. Yep.
They are outstanding. That's for sure. Thank you, Jason. We'll see you back here in studio next week.
Okay, guys.
Say hi to Mickey for us.
Yeah,
I most certainly will. All right, y'all take care. Thank you.
All right, very good. Before we hit our break and talk with Rock Riley, let's first talk with Donald. He's been patiently waiting for us. Good morning, Donald. You're on the Father and Son Windows and Doors home team.
Excellent. Good morning, guys.
How's the fishing out there?
Well, I wouldn't know today. I was supposed to go out this morning, but I'm not going out there with thunderstorms and all that miserable rain because it's supposed to be for fun.
I liked your line. The fish are already wet.
Yes, they are.
Now you're rooting for the Florida Panthers in this Stanley Cup final, and I have to ask you why.
Okay, two reasons. One, I'm going to win the contest if they win.
Okay.
And the second, Florida. If somebody said a decade ago that two teams from Florida, are going to win, back-to-back Stanley Cups, in a decade,
and be in the finals 6 years in a row.
Exactly, from Florida. I mean, we're a beach state,
Yeah.
Who would, the rest of the country, would have laughed.
Or if you're in New York, you say Florida. Let's go to Florida.
I agree with you though, because Florida doesn't get the respect. I think in the hockey world.
No,
because we are a beach state.
Yeah, everybody thinks that Canada is the headquarters of hockey.
Yeah, albeit how long has it been since I got a Stanley Cup?
Since
David
1993.
Alexander is cringing right now. I know if he's listening, which I'm sure he is. So, all right, but your family has a chance to win both contests, right? Because Liz has the Knicks and you have the Panthers.
Yeah, that's a fact. I was, if it was the Maple Leafs in it, I'd be rooting for the Maple Leafs.
Well, David appreciates that because that's his team, and he's tired of them being called the Maple Laughs instead of the Maple Leafs. But
I'd be rooting for them because, but Edmonton, I'm rooting for Florida, the home team. It's Miami, and they are bandwagoners. Like you're talking about with the Bucks.
You're giving me indigestion, Donald, when you say the Panthers are the home team. That's
especially on the home team.
No. I don't mean our home team. The state of Florida.
Yeah.
But, that's what I mean. Not ours. No, it's Lightning is our team.
Yeah.
And I'm disappointed they aren't in it. But
they got to get tougher. They got to get some guys that can protect our stars.
Yeah, and I talked about that a few weeks ago when you asked, what do we need? I said, we need a couple brawlers is what we really need.
Mm-hmm.
We don't, we're a finesse team. We're not like a brawling team. We don't have the big checkers like we used to.
Bring me Tom Wilson. That's the guy that I want. He not only is he a brawler, but he can give you some goals as well.
You had a few too, Jake, that you recommended that we bring over.
Oh, yes. Sam Bennett. I know Florida probably won't be able to retain him. Give me Sam Bennett. Ryan Reeves. We could use him. Both.
How old is he, though?
I think he's about to turn 35, so he'd be like our AHL guy, but playoff time, you bring him up. Tom Wilson certainly could use him.
Ryan Reeves is 38.
He's 38. Well, we could still use him. As much as I hate to say it, I'd say make a trade with Boston to get Nikita Zadorov, defenseman. He is very.
What do you think he would cost?
I think he would cost probably a first-round pick, which the Lightning don't mind giving away.
Do they still have any left? I mean, they always trade those.
2032 one. We'll give him a 2032 one.
Planning ahead.
And then probably two of our prospects, but I feel like if we made that move, it would definitely bolster our defense. I mean, we do have a lot of defenders on our team, so we can get rid of a few. But I think we do need to bring in some guys that are more physical, especially if we have the Battle of Florida again next.
Would you give up, say, an Eric Chernak for him?
Maybe. It depends on what the deal is and who we get in return.
Chernak's hurt a lot, so
Yes.
that certainly is something you take into consideration.
Speaking about being hurt a lot, that report after the season of how many of our players were hurt during the playoffs was remarkable. You know?
Yeah. Jim is checking in from Ohio today, and he says in Cleveland they're having a rainy, cloudy day today, much like we have here. But in Cleveland, that's pretty much the norm. It's like that a lot. So all in all, we're experiencing what you are, Jim. Well, Donald, I got to move along, but always good to hear from you.
Hey, absolutely. And go Rays. That was disappointing last night, but these things happen. So.
Yeah.
I think we're still second in our division,
We're still doing well. Yeah, and the Yankees lost last night too, so we didn't lose any ground.
No, I think we're 6.5 back, so that's okay. There's still lots of time left in the season, and we're going to have a good season, I believe.
Jim is reporting a balmy 55 degrees in Cleveland with showers and clouds. Don't you wish you were there?
It beats the 80 degrees with showers and clouds.
That's true, and all the humidity. Thank you, Donald.
Absolutely. I would need my snowsuit for that. Have a good evening.
All right, we're going to take a break. Rock Riley is going to join us on the other side. We'll get his thoughts on the Bucks and on the Rays and the Lightning and all of that stuff. More coming up here on the Father and Son Home Team on the Tan Talk Radio Network, AM 1340 and 1350, FM 106.1, 102.3, and Facebook
Live.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
The Palm Pavilion on Clearwater Beach is back and better than ever. Beautiful sunsets on sparkling Clearwater Beach, relaxing times with a wide variety of menu items, from sandwiches, seafood, landlubbers' favorites, desserts, and your favorite alcoholic and non-alcoholic drinks is what you'll find at the Palm Pavilion. Located at 10 Bay Esplanade on Clearwater Beach, they're saying there's no place like this place any place else, so this must be the place truly applies. Come and enjoy a relaxing lunch, dinner, or drinks in one of Tampa Bay's gems that visitors from all over the world make a destination. The Palm Pavilion, 10 Bay Esplanade, right on Clearwater Beach. Visit them and check out their menu on the web at palmpavilion.com. That's palmpavilion.com. If you suffered damage from either or both Hurricanes Helene or Milton and are in need of some new windows or a new door, FAS Windows and Doors is the place to turn. Locally owned and operated, they can get you the best possible products at the best possible price. Right now, they're offering a $100 rebate on all windows and a $200 rebate on all doors. Financing is available with no payments, no interest, and no money down for 24 months. Just go to their website, faswd.com. That's faswd.com to schedule an appointment and check out their inventory. It pays to shop local and to go to a company that stands behind both their products and their service. Tell them you heard about them on the Home Team with Paul Porter, and they'll take special care of you. There when you need them, FAS Windows and Doors, faswd.com. One of the questions I'm often asked is, how do you do it? With my busy schedule of working for the Lightning, Buccaneers, and the Home Team, I need to be in very good health. One person I have to thank for keeping me in good health for years is Dr. Troy Stirk of Stirk Family Medicine. He's helped me keep my blood pressure in check, my heart running smoothly, and an overall healthy feeling that is confirmed by my lab results. If you're looking for a good family physician, I heartily recommend Dr. Troy Stirk at Stirk Family Medicine. You can reach his office at 813-264-7922. That's 813-264-7922. I'll tell you, Dr. Stirk is fantastic, and I'm sure you'll feel the same way if you become one of his patients. So now that you know my secret to staying healthy with a busy schedule, it's your turn. Call Dr. Troy Stirk at Stirk Family Medicine, 813-264-7922. This is Paul Porter. You know, with the schedule I keep working for the Lightning and Buccaneers, a good night's sleep is a must for me. That's why I'm happy to tell you about the Original Mattress Factory. Their mattresses are hand-built right here in Tampa Bay with the highest quality at a very reasonable price. They aren't like these other mattress companies that'll jack their prices up every holiday and then do a so-called super discount during their so-called sale. You actually end up paying more than what the mattress is worth. The secret is with OMF, you're getting factory direct pricing and eliminating the middleman retailer. There's no high-pressure salespeople either. OMF is employee-owned, and they make it all about you. Double-sided mattresses, and they even email you when it's time to flip your mattress. Stop by their factory on Almerton Road in Clearwater and see for yourself, or visit one of their stores in Tampa or Brandon. There's nothing like a good night's sleep, and you'll get it with the Original Mattress Factory, and you'll get it for less. The Original Mattress Factory.
If you fishermen and ladies need anything for your fishing enjoyment, you'll find it at Betts Fishing Center on Starkey Road, just half a mile south of Almerton and Largo. Rods and reels by Shimano and Daiwa, frozen bait for saltwater fishing, clothing from AFCO and Skinny Water Culture, Costa Del Mar sunglasses, and more. Visit them online at customfishing.com. Open 7 days a week from 9 to 6 Monday through Saturday and 9 to 4 on Sunday. Betts Fishing Center on Starkey Road, just half a mile south of Almerton in Largo.
Did you know that Cambridge Christian School Athletic Department was honored with the Kerry McDonald Award as the 2A Athletic Program of the Year for the second consecutive year? The CCS Lancers have had 71 district championships, 21 regional championships, 5 state championships, and 37 Final Four teams. Over 200 of our student athletes have signed to play at the college level, and one has joined an NFL team. Visit us today at ccslancers.com.
Time for more of the home team. Here again are Paul Porter and Jason Alessi.
Well, that's half correct. Paul Porter here. Jason is out this week, but we're very happy to have both Matt Noyes and also Jacob Noyes with us in studio today. And let's bring in our next guest, the voice of Tampa Bay, one of the voices of Tampa Bay at least, Mr. Rock Riley. Rock, thanks for joining us today.
What do you say, Paul? How you guys doing today?
We're doing good. Trying to dry out a little bit. I think most people are in that situation. But good to have you on board. And, Rock, I want to start with hockey. The Stanley Cup Finals, Panthers, Oilers, who are you rooting for?
I am rooting for the Oilers.
Okay.
They're still kind of the stinking Panthers to me. But I saw it opened as a pick'em. So, I mean, I think either team you go with, you can't go wrong. You know what I mean? I think it's going to be a hell of a series, but I just because of the rivalry for so many years, I can't root for the Panthers.
Yeah, that's kind of how I am. And Canada hasn't won the Stanley Cup in many, many years. I think 1997 or something like that was the 93. Last time. When was it, Matt?
1993, the Montreal Canadiens.
93, okay.
Wow.
So it's been a while, 32 years since the Cup stayed in Canada. But with regards to the Lightning, as I see it, they need to get a lot tougher for the upcoming season.
Yes, I would agree with that. I mean, it's funny because Breezebot did his final, postseason interview, and he was like, the narrative on us is that we're old, we're too old, and really, when you break it down team-wise and look at the young guys that came through, they're not overly that old, but I would agree, Paul. That's kind of their Achilles heel. They do have to get tougher. Yes, you're right.
You do need to have the experience from the old guys and the keeping them sane on the bench, so to speak, mentality wise. But it does need to have some. You
got to protect the Kucherovs and the Points and the Gensels and that. Yeah. Rock, your thoughts on the Bucks as we count down? I saw somebody post on Facebook 100 days till Buccaneer football, and I don't know if that's considered for the training camp or for the preseason or for the regular season, but people can't wait for football to get here.
No, and especially with the Buccaneers. I mean, they've won the NFC South. They're favored again. I don't see any reason why not. Again, it's going to come down to the defense. They like their draft picks, but those guys are young. Hassan Reddick is the big veteran edge rusher. They got in a 1-year deal, a prove-it deal, $14 million guaranteed, and he doesn't show up for the OTAs. I know it's voluntary, but he talked at his press conference that he's got something to prove. It didn't work out because he sat out last year with the Jets. He loves Bowles' defense. He's going to help Yaya Diaby, and then he doesn't show up. And again, if it is for a health reason or a family member, then understood. But when Bowles was asked, he's like, well, I'm sure we'll see him sometime. So that's what drives, that just drives me crazy. But so it's going to come down to the defense. When I look at the offense in training camp or in these OTAs, the off season, like, it's the same system. Yes, you have a new play caller in Josh Broussard, but Baker Mayfield looks good. He's in the best shape I've ever seen him. On point. Bucky Irving is the first player in the building at 5 a.m., even though he had all that success. I talked to Graham Barton, the offensive line. They all know each other. Baker told me at the Pro Bowl it all goes down to a running game. We got that. So I think offensively they're going to be good. It's going to come down to the defense.
Yeah,
they do have a good running game. They also have a good passing game too. I mean, they have a few very good wide receivers.
And they just added a great draft pick as well from Ohio State. Rock, only got a couple of minutes left, but I want to get your thoughts on the Rays and a bit of a surprise. I saw your post on Chandler Simpson yesterday, and people are not happy about that.
I mean, he's Joe Madden. Joe Madden was on radio the other day, and he's like, this guy is the most exciting guy in baseball. Look, they go by these statistics. And, Christopher Morel, they didn't want to send him down. They look maybe at defense. But I talk to pitchers, even in the locker room, and they're like, I would hate to be pitching when Chandler Simpson is on base. He's going to steal a bag. He generates or 2 or 3 generates run support. They want him to be an everyday player. I would just continue to play him every day. But that's usually the Rays make the right decisions. But in this one, I just don't see it.
No, and when he's on base, it affects the pitcher, and so he ends up. It helps the hitter, who's in the box, because the pitcher's so focused on him on the base that doesn't always throw his best stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. A huge threat there, that's for sure. Well, Rock, we really appreciate it, and always good to talk with you. We're looking forward to football season getting started, and won't be long. And I know you're busy. You've got a show on today. I never know what time you're on because it's a different time every week. But but we do always enjoy listening to you.
Awesome. No, I love coming on with you guys. Always, Paul, always.
All right. Thanks so much. We appreciate it. All right.
You.
Rock Riley, and it's a guy that he's at One Buck Place almost every day. He's following the Rays around. He keeps track of the Lightning as well. He's a busy
mainstay
guy.
for Tampa Bay sports.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you recognize him now, Jake?
I do.
Okay,
After hearing his voice, yes.
All right. When you heard, but I'm the same way. A lot of people say, "Oh, I know that voice," but I didn't know it was Paul Porter. That's so I understand what you're saying. We are looking forward to hour number 2 of the Father and Son Window and Doors home team. I want to get your thoughts on a couple of different things that we'll bring out in hour number 2. But we want to give you our trivia question, top of the hour trivia question for Facebook Live. The question today is, where did Babe Ruth hit his longest home run, 576 feet? Where did that happen? If you know the answer to that, you can mention it on Facebook Live or when you call in. Where did Babe Ruth hit his all-time longest home run in the history of Major League Baseball, 576 feet? Hour number 2 of the home team coming your way on the Tan Talk Radio Network, AM 1340 and 1350, FM 106.1, 102.3, and Facebook
Live.
WTAN, Clearwater.
FM 106.1.
WDCF, Dade City.
FM 102.3.
Listen.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Stacey Lynn. Smoke from Canadian wildfires is drifting into the Midwest. Meteorologist David Parkinson tells us it's likely to affect millions of Americans.
In the Midwest, unfortunately, it's really bad air quality for the next several days. You're seeing smoke coming down from Manitoba with the fires burning there. And unfortunately, you are going to see the wind continue to come out of the north. And as it does so, it's going to push smoke all the way down to Chicago, Milwaukee, Green Bay. All of those areas likely to see bad air quality on and off for the next several days.
Wildfire season in Canada typically runs from March until October. At a steel mill in Pittsburgh, President Trump announced he's doubling tariffs on steel, later noting the increase also applies to aluminum. He also talked about a planned partnership between U.S. Steel and Japan's Nippon Steel that he says will preserve thousands of jobs.
Most importantly, U.S. Steel will continue to be controlled by the USA. Otherwise, I wouldn't have done the deal.
Now, the deal hasn't been finalized or signed yet, but if it goes through, the president says it will be very lucrative, adding,
every U.S. steel worker will soon receive a well-deserved $5,000 bonus.
Which steel workers celebrated.
It gets me energized, gets me ready to go out there and work harder.
Senators, including Lindsey Graham, are calling for a secondary sanctions plan against countries who import Russian fossil fuels and raw materials.
China, the game you're playing with Russia is about to change. If you keep buying cheap Russian oil to fuel Putin's war machine, there'll be a 500% tariff on all of your products coming into the United States.
Israel has agreed to a U.S.-backed ceasefire plan, but Hamas hasn't signed on. CBS's Imtiaz Tayeb with the latest from Tel Aviv.
The deal does call for the immediate launch of follow-up negotiations, which could lead to a secure, permanent ceasefire, as well as the release of the remaining hostages still in Hamas custody.
Israel's defense minister has warned Hamas to accept the proposal or be annihilated. Meanwhile, at a security summit in Singapore, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth had a warning for China.
Any attempt by Communist China to conquer Taiwan by force would result in devastating consequences for the Indo-Pacific and the world.
World Pride 2025 is kicking off in Washington, D.C., a massive LGBTQ plus celebration expected to bring nearly 3 million people to town. The welcome festivities included headliner Shakira performing at Nats Park. That show, though, has been canceled today due to complications with the previous show in Boston. This is CBS News.
Sponsored by Progressive. Protect your auto, home, and business with Progressive and get 24/7 coverage. See if you can save at Progressive.com. That's Progressive.com.
Caregivers find the support they need on Connecting Caregivers Radio with Linda Burhans, the gal who cares for the caregiver. Heard every Friday from 1 to 2 p.m., Linda and her caring and knowledgeable guests will bring you education, information, and resources, as well as a shoulder for caregivers. That's Connecting Caregivers Radio with Linda Burhans, the gal who cares for the caregiver, where you can find help and hope every Friday from 1 to 2 p.m. right here on the Tan Talk Radio Network.
Ain't it good? Hi, I'm Dawn Reese with the Dawn Reese Show, most powerful names in entertainment, every Thursday at 5 p.m. I have so many different segments I'm so excited to share with you, from miracle stories to celebrity interviews with Hollywood connections to travel, and soon the Housewives of Florida, to local business promoting your business on the air with me, an amazing opportunity to grow your business. Tune in to the Tan Talk Radio Network, 106.1 FM on Thursdays, 5 p.m. with me, Dawn Reese.
Do you have questions after being injured in a car accident or injured because of someone's negligence? Do you feel overwhelmed or uncertain about the next steps after being injured in a crash? The personal injury attorneys at Peronic, Caulfield, Averill, and Noyes have been helping their injured clients since 1955 and are now on this radio station to provide guidance to you. Listen to FLA Law each Tuesday from 5 to 6 p.m. Let their decades of experience help you and your family. Offices in Clearwater, non-attorney spokesman.
Hey Tampa Bay, Tammy here with the BCC Coupon Book. Tune in during drive time 5 to 6 p.m. on the TAN Talk Radio Network to hear the BCC Coupon Book radio show. We feature local small business owners with great deals for many services and restaurants in our listening area. And anyone interested in branding your business and getting your name out there, give us a call at the BCC Coupon Book, 727-804-6082. Have a great day, Tampa Bay.
That's the BCC Coupon Book, Wednesdays 5 to 6 on the TAN Talk Radio Network.
Hey, everybody, this is Pastor Marcia McAllister from Beacon of Hope Ministries. We want you to join us on Sunday afternoons at 3 o'clock on this radio station for our 2-hour show, talking to you about the Word of God, giving you great contemporary music, some lively chat, and just some food for thought. You'll be encouraged to know how very much God loves you and how He has a plan for your life. Join us this coming Sunday at 3 o'clock on Living the Good Life.
This is Paul Porter, the arena voice of the Tampa Bay Lightning and Orlando Magic, and the press box voice of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I hope you'll join me every Saturday morning from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. for my weekly show, The Home Team, heard right here on the TAN Talk Radio Network and Facebook Live, The Home Team with Paul Porter, talking Lightning, Bucks, Rays, USF, and a whole lot more. Your calls and prize giveaways. Join us this Saturday and every Saturday morning for The Home Team, 9 to 11 on the TAN Talk Radio Network.
This is the TAN Talk Radio Network.
The Rays have won the American League pennant. The Tampa Bay Lightning win their second straight Stanley Cup. And when the Super Bowl ended, the ball would be in the hands of Tom Brady. I don't know why we ever think it won't.
It's time for the Father and Son's Home Team on the TAN Talk Radio Network and Facebook Live. The Home Team is brought to you by Father and Son's Windows and Doors, locally owned and operated with offices in Tampa Bay and Orlando. Visit them on the web at faswd.com and mention the Home Team for special pricing. And now, here he is, the arena voice of the Tampa Bay Lightning and the press box voice of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Paul Porter.
Thank you very much, and welcome to hour number 2 of the Father and Son Windows and Doors Home Team. Jason is out this week, but we're very happy to have both Matt and Jake Noyes joining us. Matt, of course, his law firm, one of the sponsors of the Home Team, and Matt, we thank you for that. And,
honored to do it.
Well, we're glad to have you on board, and tell us a little bit about the firm and what you specialize in and how you can help people.
Sure, we are the oldest personal injury law firm in Tampa Bay. It's Pernick Caulfield Averlin Noyes. We are celebrating our 70th birthday this year, and we specialize in helping people after auto accidents, trip and falls, work injuries, and even Social Security disability cases. We feel it's important to be a voice for the injured, and so that's why we proudly fight the insurance companies when we need to fight.
All right, very good. And you've got a show here on the TAN Talk Radio Network.
We do. We have FLA Law on the radio. It's on Tuesdays from 5 until 6, and then it's all the past episodes are on Spotify on our podcast channels.
All right. One thing I've always wanted to ask you, and I think you'll see where I'm coming from here. When you decided to have children, you and your wife, did you say the term, make some noise?
Well, I have 10 brothers and sisters.
Okay.
And my mom was a music teacher at St. Cecilia's School. And so we were always called the noisy bunch.
Okay, all right.
And my mom was always teased about Mrs. Noise making noise in the music room. So
yeah.
So that happens a lot.
When you hear it at stadiums and arenas, and it's often said, "Okay, everybody, let's make some noise."
That's right.
He always says the shoe company New Balance is designed after us because it's got that big N on it.
Oh, okay, all right.
I convinced him for a while that they were monogram shoes for him. So
there you go. If you want to join us, we have some open phone lines now. David Alexander from 4680Q is going to be joining us from Niagara. We'll talk some hockey with him and how people are feeling up in Canada with regards to the Stanley Cup possibly coming to Canada for the first time since 1993, was it? Okay, yes. All right. So we'll see what he thinks about that. But if you want to join us, feel free to join us on the phone line, 727-441-3600. 3,000. We've had a request to list the 4 teams that are actually 5 teams that are still alive in the NBA and the NHL. And we actually have the Pacers. Don in St. Petersburg has the Indiana Pacers. Liz has the New York Knicks. And Mike in Atlanta has the Oklahoma City Thunder. 3 teams still alive in the NBA. And in the NHL, Donald has the Panthers, and John from Clearwater has the Edmonton Oilers. So that's what's
and
still
if you
alive.
can see what Paul's looking at, he has this whole list of there's all strike-offs because there's people that were guessing other teams.
We strike them off one at a time.
That's pretty
And
cool.
we started it with a blind draw where you pick a number 1 to 16, and that was the team assigned based on the number you pick. So made it even for everybody. So that's where we stand as far as all of that goes. Did either one of you know the trivia contest? Did either one of you know when I said who hit or where did Babe Ruth hit the longest ever home run in the history of baseball?
I guessed it was Baltimore.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
I guessed it was the Polo Grounds. So.
Okay. Yeah, well, neither one was correct. It was right here in Tampa at Plant Field. And both David and Donald got that correct. So we will make note of that. We're going to be sending out a prize to the winner of the trivia contest for May. We'll add them all up and see who got the most correct in the month of May. And then we'll do it again starting next month, a brand new contest. Next month starts on Sunday. So
Jake was on that field. He got to participate.
We got to play on that field, and
really?
Yes, it's a very big field. So I'm not surprised that was the furthest home run hit that Babe Ruth hit because it's very long.
576 feet,
Wow.
and the ball is in the Henry Plant Museum.
That's cool.
You can actually see the baseball that was hit, and I understand it went totally out of the ballpark and was headed in the direction of the museum.
Wow.
They went that far. So, you know where I found that out? I know Donald said he watched it on a documentary. I found that out on the Pirate Water Taxi.
Oh, really?
Yeah, as you're taking the taxi, they are pointing out all the different features along the river, the Strass Center and Curtis Hickson Park and all of that. And then they point out the baseball field to your left is where Babe Ruth hit his longest ever home run.
That's very cool.
576 feet.
That's wild. I went to Stetson Law School down right there in Gulfport. And before Stetson was a law school, it was a hotel. And it was very popular for Babe Ruth just hanging out at the pool and hanging out at the hotel at Stetson. So I could say that I had class where Babe Ruth.
Oh, there you go.
Probably smoke a cigar and have 1 or 2 drinks.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's the answer to that. Thanks to all of you for guessing on that. And again, Donald and David both had that correct. Well, we're going to hit a break, and then David Alexander is going to join us on the other side from 4680Q in Niagara. My brother owns that radio station. It's in Niagara Falls.
Wow.
And it's a internet radio station. And David has a show on there every Thursday from 10:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. And I've been on it a few times, and now he's going to join us on our show. We've had him on this show before as well.
It's wonderful. It's a beautiful area up there.
This guy knows hockey. Oh man, I'll tell you. He's the Jason Alessi of hockey. That's how much he knows. So we'll take a break. More of the father and son home team coming up here on the Tan Talk Radio Network. AM 1340 and 1350. FM 106.1, 102.3, and Facebook
Live.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
If you suffered damage from either or both Hurricanes Helene or Milton and are in need of some new windows or a new door, FAS Windows and Doors is the place to turn. Locally owned and operated, they can get you the best possible products at the best possible price. Now, right now, they're offering a $100 rebate on all windows and a $200 rebate on all doors. Financing is available with no payments and no interest and no money down for 24 months. Just go to their website, faswd.com. That's faswd.com to schedule an appointment and check out their inventory. It pays to shop local, and to go to a company that stands behind both their products and their service. Tell them you heard about them on the Home Team with Paul Porter, and they'll take special care of you. They're there when you need them. FAS Windows and Doors, FASWD.com.
Much like the weather, your life could change at the drop of a hat. Don't be caught unprepared. You don't know what will happen tomorrow, but no matter what happens to you, you can make sure your loved ones are provided for with a life insurance policy from Auto Owners Insurance. Meet with a local independent agent and secure a policy now to rest easy knowing you're protecting the ones you love. Visit Vermost Insurance in Tampa Bay today at VERMOST.com. Looking for a fun, affordable Saturday night out with the family? Check out the excitement of minor league baseball and then stay for an amazing fireworks display over Baycare Ballpark after Saturday night Clearwater Threshers home games. Whether you're hanging out with our mascot Finley or getting an autograph from your favorite minor league players, there's always something fun to do for everyone in the family. So go to threshersbaseball.com to get your Saturday night tickets now. And don't miss the best fireworks in Tampa Bay.
Folks, let me tell you about a gem of a restaurant in Carrollwood. It's Hank's Place, where you'll find some of the best barbecue, catfish, wings, sausage, gator, shrimp, and a whole lot more. Their meats are dry rubbed and slowly smoked. All of your favorite sides, too, from baked beans to collard greens to mac and cheese to onion rings. Are you hungry yet? Discover why Hank's Place at 8546 Northdale Maybury, just 100 yards north of Waters Avenue, is a place that locals have known about for years. Hey, would a guy like me lie to you about food? Hank's Place, a place to hang your hat and lick your fingers.
This is Paul Porter. You know, with the schedule I keep working for the Lightning and Buccaneers, a good night's sleep is a must for me. That's why I'm happy to tell you about the Original Mattress Factory. Their mattresses are hand-built right here in Tampa Bay with the highest quality at a very reasonable price. They aren't like these other mattress companies that'll jack their prices up every holiday and then do a so-called super discount during their so-called sale. You actually end up paying more than what the mattress is worth. The secret is with OMF, you're getting factory direct pricing and eliminating the middleman retailer. There's no high-pressure salespeople either. OMF is employee-owned, and they make it all about you. Double-sided mattresses, and they even email you when it's time to flip your mattress. Stop by their factory on Almerton Road in Clearwater and see for yourself, or visit one of their stores in Tampa or Brandon. There's nothing like a good night's sleep, and you'll get it with the Original Mattress Factory, and you'll get it for less. The Original Mattress Factory.
For the first time ever, the Home Team is endorsing a place for all of you fishermen. And the winner is Betts Fishing Center on Starkey Road, just half a mile south of Almerton Road in Largo. Betts, that's B-E-T-T-S, is open 7 days a week from 9 to 6, Monday through Saturday, and 9 to 4 on Sunday. Everything you need, from clothing by AFCO and Skinny Water Culture to Shimano and Daiwa Reels. They also do repair of your equipment. Betts Fishing Center on Starkey Road, just half a mile south of Almerton in Largo. Online at customfishing.com.
When you talk about ice rink development in West Central Florida, one name stands alone: Iceman Development, LLC. Gordy Zimmerman, president and founder of Iceman Development, has played an integral part in the construction of the Ice Sports Forum in Brandon, the training home of the three-time Stanley Cup champion Tampa Bay Lightning, and the Advent Health Center Ice Complex, a multi-million-dollar facility boasting 150,000 square feet and ranked the top indoor ice rink facility by both the USA Today and Yelp. Iceman Development is currently involved in creating yet another outstanding ice rink facility in Trinity in Pasco County. Iceman's company mission is to build community projects that impact the area both in quality of life and economic growth. For more information, visit icemandevelopment.com. That's Iceman with two N's, development.com.
Thanks for staying with us. Now more of the Home Team with Paul Porter and Jason Alessi.
Thank you very much. And actually, we have Matt Noyes in along with his son Jacob here today, filling in for our good friend Jason Alessi. Jason will be back next week. Matt, all of a sudden everything got hollow here in the control room. So can you check on that? I don't know if there's a button pushed or something, but it's sounding a lot different through the headset. So if you could make an adjustment with that. No, now you knocked it out totally. So go back to where you were if need be.
So you need two of us to take for Jason's absence. So you need me and Jacob to fill in for Jason.
There you go. And no, it's worse now, Matt. So just go back to where it was before if you can. We are very happy to have with us from our friends at 4680Q in Niagara Falls, Ontario, my brother's radio station, the internet radio station. And of course, you hear my brother on some of the commercials, and you also hear him on the intro for the program. And let's go to David now. David, welcome back to the home team.
Thank you, gentlemen. Good morning.
Well, good morning, and good to have you back with us. And it's getting better, Matt, by the way, so whatever you're doing there is working. David, you do a show on 4680Q on Thursday mornings at 10:30 called Nothing But Sports. And I know that you are a huge Toronto Maple Leaf fan, and I'll call them the Maple Leafs. I won't call them the Maple Laughs, as some do refer to. But how are the sentiment? Have people gotten over the Maple Leafs making another exit in the playoffs this year, when I know a lot of people thought this might be the year?
Yeah, the answer to that is no. I certainly haven't gotten over it yet, but we're all preconditioned, I guess, in Leafs Nation to expect the worst, and we've expected the worst for 58 years, and we'll count another one to that. When we had the hopes up so high after the first two games against Florida, and then in Game 3, having a 3-1 lead and seeing it all fall apart, then there was that Game 6 that they played arguably their best playoff game I've seen them play in a long, long time. They won 2-0 and came back to Toronto on Game 7, and I don't know what happened. Brad Treliving, the general manager of the Toronto Maple Leafs, had his exit press conference on Thursday, and he said that the DNA on the Leafs has to change. And I think with the parting of ways with the president, Brendan Shanahan, that in fact change will happen now. Brendan Shanahan, I believe, put all his hopes and dreams into the core four of Tavares, Matthews, Marner, and Nylander, and that group had let him down year after year after year. And now Marner and Tavares are free agents, so it's going to be an interesting offseason in Toronto to see what changes, how it changes, the ramifications of the change. So, yeah, we got a lot to talk about and a lot to look forward to.
But Jacob was watching some of those games when the Toronto Maple Leafs were playing, and he was giving me his own commentary during those games too.
Yes, another year, another second round exit, but you can say you made it past the first round for 2 straight years, so that's a good thing. I guess they lost their belief in the team.
They did look good on some of those games, though.
They did look good in some of the games, but as he said, Mitch Marner is a free agent. So is Toronto willing to give him the pay he wants, or is he going to leave? We'll see, depending on if he wants to go back to Leafs or maybe the Minnesota Wild. Hometown kid comes home. We'll see.
Yeah, I saw the body language of Mitch Marner after Game 7, and it read to me that he's ready to make a change. You're right, he's a hometown boy. If he stays in Toronto, you could argue he'll go to the Hall of Fame someday. He's a 100-point player. It's hard to replace that kind of talent, but there's something that goes on, and Brad Treliving talked about it in his press conference, that is happening between the left ear and the right ear of some of these players, and they can't seem to get the playoff bugaboo out of their heads. And I think Toronto Maple Leafs had the potential. You mentioned it earlier about, that we thought they could go all the way this year, that this was the year. And here we go again, talking about the offseason of change. But the problem seems to be we've got a team on par with Edmonton, I believe. But the difference is the Edmonton Stars show up in the playoffs and the Toronto Stars disappear.
Well, I have to ask, David, had Stolarz not got injured in, I believe it was Game 2 or Game 1?
Game 1.
Game 1, yeah.
Okay. it might have been a whole different series outcome because he's a good goaltender. I've seen him backing up Bobrovsky in Florida for a while. And I think the Leafs have a goaltender of the future in him.
Yeah, I would agree to a point, Paul. My problem with the play of the Leafs was Joe Woll came in, and I thought he did an admirable job. He went into Game 6, as I mentioned, and shut out the Panthers in a very critical do-or-die game to force the Game 7. So I'm not really sold that the goaltending change cost them the series. But what bothered me was when Stolarz got hurt. You could argue he got a concussion from earlier in that Game 1. He took a slap shot off the face mask. It knocked the mask off of his head, and he stayed in the game. The concussion spotters never pulled him. And then Sam Bennett went through the crease and knocked him in the head with his knee. And I don't think Bennett did it intentionally, but there's a golden rule in hockey that you don't touch the goaltender. And my big problem was the Leafs never responded to that. And I can guarantee you, if Craig Berube was still a player instead of a coach, he would have been the guy that went out, and Bennett would have had to answer to him. So I think that's where the culture, the DNA has to change. They've made enough changes in their management, their coaching, their goaltending, their defense, but they haven't really changed a lot of the power of the forwards. And there's rumors out there that, if they don't re-sign Marner, well, Bennett is a free agent, and I know you guys don't like him, and we don't like him, but if you had him on your team, you'd love him, and that's Brad Marchand, and he's coming up too. So it's going to be interesting, as I say.
Well, a lot of the NHL insiders are pointing to Sam Bennett joining the Leafs, mostly because I do agree. You never touch the goalie in hockey, as you can see with most teams. You touch the goalie, there's a fight right after. And after watching that Game 1, no one responded to Stolarz getting hit by Sam Bennett's knee. So, obviously that culture's got to change there too. But it also all evolves around Marner and Tavares, whether they sign back with the Leafs or whether the core four is no more. So we'll see.
Yeah, that's certainly the case. And I know Sam Bennett is a guy, David, that they'd probably love to have here in Tampa, just like you'd love to have him in Toronto. It almost seems like the Maple Leafs have the same problem that the Lightning do, and that they need some toughness to protect some of their stars.
Yeah, I would agree. The game has, Paul, it's a copycat league, eh? When some team has success and they play a certain style and they win the Stanley Cup, all the other 31 teams want to duplicate that. And Tampa is one of those. Toronto certainly has recognized that the road to the Stanley Cup has to go through the Atlantic Division. And those two teams in Florida, in particular now the Florida Panthers, you have to adopt a team that has that kind of style. And then, Toronto got to that to a degree. They played a lot more north-south this year, but obviously not enough. But I go back to the core four, the Stars. There's something wrong with them when they get into the tight playoff game, the must-win playoff game. They fail time after time. They've got all the talent in the world. I just don't understand. Nobody seems to understand. I don't think it's lack of will. They want to win. It's just there's something gripping the stick. The nerves get to them. The pressure of the fact that the Leafs haven't won in so many years. There's something to it that these players just can't relax, go out, do their job, have fun, and reap the success of it.
Well, I think one thing they can hang their hat on, they're the only team that took the Panthers to 7 games. So that's something to be said, but still disappointing as far as that goes.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you, David, had the country of Canada, which is not the 51st state just yet. It's still Canada. But is the country of Canada rallying behind the Edmonton Oilers to finally bring the cup back to Canada since 1993?
I would say in a general answer, yes. Certainly all the news and sports stations in the country lead off a lot of their telecasts with the Edmonton Oilers story. Because of that fact, and just the fact that it's our game, it's the national game here, and we haven't won in so long. There's a sidebar to it because, unfortunately, in Canada, we're having wildfire problems, much like you did out in Los Angeles area back, and northern Alberta, where Edmonton is located. Of course, there are some bad wildfires going on in the prairies, and a lot of people are being evacuated. So it's a necessary distraction. It's something that will boost the morale. I can guarantee you the people in Calgary, Alberta, are not cheering for the Edmonton Oilers. But I'm one of those guys where once my team is out, I don't really cheer for a team per se. I cheer for a good series. It'd be great to see 7 games like we saw last year. But I tend to cheer for players or people. And last year I was on the fence. I wanted to see Connor McDavid hoist the cup. And I also wanted to see Paul Maurice. I have great respect for him, hoist the cup. He got to do it, of course. So now it's Connor McDavid. I'm cheering for the others because I really think that superstar talent has to have a Stanley Cup on his resume. And then you could argue he's in the Mount Rushmore of the greatest hockey players we've ever seen.
Good point.
Aren't they calling him McJesus?
Yeah, that's his nickname, McJesus.
Well, I want to let you know, David, you do a show with my brother every Thursday on 4680Q. And Pat has taken a lot of abuse from Maple Leaf fans because his brother works for the Tampa Bay Lightning. And, of course, they're a big rivalry back and forth. But how are Maple Leaf fans taking to the state of Florida having a representative in the Stanley Cup Finals for now 6 years in a row?
They're not taking it very well. We tend to get a little ignorant in terms of our attitudes that we think hockey's our game and nobody else should have it. And then you have a Sunbelt state where, you mentioned earlier in your show, and you're absolutely right, when fans don't even show up for half the year, you can get a ticket if you go down to Florida, and it's dirt cheap. And, here we have to mortgage the house to get a ticket. And then all of a sudden you have success, you get into the playoffs, and it's a full house and it's noisy, and Florida has taken over Canada's hockey. So we don't take it very well.
Yeah, the people are saying, "Oh, I was a fan all along." That. Yeah, that's for sure. Well, David, always good to talk with you, and best of luck. We'll be talking some Blue Jays and Rays because we've got another rivalry there in the American League East Division. So we'll be talking a little bit about that. And enjoy the Stanley Cup Finals. What's your prediction on who wins and how many games?
Well, again, I think I'm going to lean Edmonton. There's a interesting stat out there. When two teams have played each other back to back since the original 6 has expanded, the New York Islanders won 4 straight Stanley Cups in the 80s, and they won their 4th against the first time they played the Edmonton Oilers, Wayne Gretzky. The next year they met again, and the Oilers prevailed. And then back in 2008, the Detroit Red Wings had won their Stanley Cup against Pittsburgh. They met again in 2009, and Sidney Crosby's Pittsburgh Penguins won the Cup. So here we go again. We've got a rematch. So Florida won last year. If history is correct, then Edmonton should win this year. And I think Edmonton will win, but it won't be easy. And I could see this easily going 7 games. I think the little rest that both teams are going to get is going to even the playing field. And I'm a little concerned for Edmonton because they've lost a key player in Zach Hyman due to injury. And he would be a nice match for Florida, sending out Matthew Tkachuk.
All right. Very good. Well, you see why
I had one little thing for you, Paul, too. You mentioned about trivia for Babe Ruth.
Yes.
Do you know where Babe Ruth's first professional home run was?
No, I can't say. Would it be Fenway Park?
No. He was a professional before he came to the major leagues, and he played in Toronto. And there was a baseball stadium on Toronto Island called Hanlon's Point, and he hit the ball so far it actually went into Lake Ontario.
Oh, wow.
So there you go. Back in 1914. I did not see that. I wasn't around.
You see why we call him the Jason Alessi of hockey. He certainly knows his stuff. Real quick, David, before we let you go, If any of our listeners are visiting Niagara Falls over the summer break, I know I'm going to try and make it up there. What is a great place to go for wine? If you could help us out with that.
Well, you could come to my establishment, which is called Wine Place. We're located in Niagara Falls, Ontario. You can check us out on wineplaceniagarafalls.ca on the internet. And we'd love to meet and greet all the home team listeners. It would be fun to see that. We have over 100 wineries in the Niagara region here in Ontario. So you won't be lacking for any great wines if you come up this way.
All right. Very good. Well, I look forward to meeting you, and thank you so much for joining us on the program. And I listen to your show every Thursday from 10:30 to 11:30. All you have to do, it's very easy. You just go to 4680q.com, 4680q.com, and it'll take you right to the site, and you can listen to a show going on in Canada.
Great. It's easy.
Yeah.
You can do it any place.
Thank you, guys.
4680q.com. All right. Thank you, David. We appreciate it. We're overdue for a break, and then when we come back, your phone calls. John's going to kick things off for us, and more of your phone calls. That's coming up next here on the Father and Son Windows and Doors Home Team on AM 1340, 1350, FM 106.1, 102.3, and Facebook
Live.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
When you talk about ice rink development in West Central Florida, one name stands alone: Iceman Development, LLC. Gordy Zimmerman, president and founder of Iceman Development, has played an integral part in the construction of the Ice Sports Forum in Brandon, the training home of the three-time Stanley Cup champion Tampa Bay Lightning, and the Advent Health Center Ice Complex, a multi-million-dollar facility boasting 150,000 square feet, and ranked the top indoor ice rink facility by both the USA Today and Yelp. Iceman Development is currently involved in creating yet another outstanding ice rink facility in Trinity and Pasco County. Iceman's company mission is to build community projects that impact the area both in quality of life and economic growth. For more information, visit icemandevelopment.com. That's Iceman with two N's, development.com. My favorite restaurant in all of Tampa Bay is J. Alexander's at the corner of Dale, Mabry, and Cypress, just south of I-275 in Tampa. The prime rib is to die for. Steaks are just as mouthwatering, and that's not all. Seafood like salmon, ahi tuna, shrimp, or crab cakes. Don't forget the salads and appetizers like my favorite French onion soup, and top it all off with a homemade dessert. J. Alexander's in Tampa at Dale, Mabry, and Cypress, just south of 275. Open 7 days, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Reservations suggested but not necessary.
Looking to elevate your brand with custom apparel? Look no further than Athletic House, your one-stop shop for screen printing and embroidery in Clearwater. Whether you need embroidery on your polos or full-color logos screen printed on T-shirts, our expert team will bring your vision to life with precision and quality. Family owned and operated for over 20 years, we pride ourselves on the personal attention we give to all our customers. Making your team look good is our business. Athletic House. Call us today for a quote.
This is Paul Porter. You know, with the schedule I keep working for the Lightning and Buccaneers, a good night's sleep is a must for me. That's why I'm happy to tell you about the Original Mattress Factory. Their mattresses are hand-built right here in Tampa Bay with the highest quality at a very reasonable price. They aren't like these other mattress companies that'll jack their prices up every holiday and then do a so-called super discount during their so-called sale. You actually end up paying more than what the mattress is worth. The secret is with OMF, you're getting factory direct pricing and eliminating the middleman retailer. There's no high-pressure salespeople either. OMF is employee-owned, and they make it all about you. Double-sided mattresses, and they even email you when it's time to flip your mattress. Stop by their factory on Almerton Road in Clearwater and see for yourself, or visit one of their stores in Tampa or Brandon. There's nothing like a good night's sleep, and you'll get it with the Original Mattress Factory, and you'll get it for less. The Original Mattress Factory. Happy 60th birthday, Cambridge Christian School. Hi, everyone. I'm Paul Porter, voice of the Lightning, here to tell you about the exciting growth happening here at CCS. Coming this fall is our state-of-the-art 45,000 square foot high school and STEM lab. For For over 60 years, Cambridge Christian's award-winning academics, athletics, and the arts has been changing the way you think about Christian education. Visit us today at ccslancers.com. After a car accident, there are many questions that you need answers to. Who pays for my car repairs? Who pays for the medical bills? What about my lost wages? And more. The personal injury law firm of Pernick, Caulfield, Averill, and Noyes has been answering these questions for their clients for nearly 70 years. Since 1955, they've been a voice of the injured in the legal system. As one of the longest established law firms in Tampa Bay, Pernick, Caulfield, Averill, and Noyes is here to answer your questions. Listen to their live call-in radio show on this channel every Tuesday evening from 5 to 6 p.m. or call them at 727-796-8282 or visit them at voiceoftheinjured.com. Offices Clearwater, non-attorney spokesperson. If you suffer damage from either or both Hurricanes Helene or Milton and are in need of some new windows or a new door, FAS Windows and Doors is the place to turn. Locally owned and operated, they can get you the best possible products at the best possible price. Right now, they're offering a $100 rebate on all windows and a $200 rebate on all doors. Financing is available with no payments, no interest, and no money down for 24 months. Just go to their website, faswd.com. That's faswd.com to schedule an appointment and check out their inventory. It pays to shop local and to go to a company that stands behind both their products and their service. Tell them you heard about them on the Home Team with Paul Porter, and they'll take special care of you. There when you need them, FAS Windows and Doors, faswd.com.
Now let's get back to the home team with the arena voice of the Tampa Bay Lightning and press box voice of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Paul Porter.
Thank you very much. The phone lines are jammed, so let's get to those. We've got John from Clearwater first. Hello, John. You're on the Father and Son Windows and Doors home team.
Hey, John from Carrollwood.
Sorry about that. That was Matt's doing there. He put Clearwater in there. Good to have you with us, though, John.
Yeah, couple things. Great guest. He obviously very knowledgeable, and if Canada does become the 51st state, I think we can bring him on the show a little bit more often, huh?
He's a good guest. He knows hockey. He certainly does, and much more than just the Maple Leafs, which is his team.
I agree. It's going to be a good series. I'm looking forward to it. And I agree with him. I think this will be Connor McDavid's year. I think they'll have to figure out how to handle these bullies down at the stinking Panthers, but I think we'll be able to take care. Edmonton should be able to take care of business.
Well, the only thing I'd say is that I think Florida has the better goaltender in Bobrovsky. He's good in big games like that, and I don't know if Skinner or Pickard can match what he has.
Skinner is way better than Bobrovsky.
Oh no!
Because
totally disagree. Tell me why.
Because I've watched Bobrovsky so well, even when he was playing the Lightning. If the Edmonton take notice of this, he always puts his glove under his blocker, which leaves a little room right here. And Stuart Skinner has had shutouts this playoffs, but it's going to be a good series either way. But I say Skinner has a little more advantage based on him playing Florida last year. He knows what angles they're taking, what shots they're taking.
Bobrovsky played Edmonton last year.
But Bobrovsky, I think the pressure is really going to get to him trying to go back to back.
Okay. All right. Well, I respectfully disagree with you, but you should call Coach Knobloch and let him know that.
Okay.
Because that's valuable information for him.
It's pretty strong scouting. I love that. So, hey, real quick on the Rays, they've not sold out every game, which I think they thought they would. Several games have had 8,000 people, but they're really coming around now with their pitching, which I think is going to save them. But I'm a little concerned about who the leader on the team is. I think they're a little bit leaderless. Yandy's not been playing well. He's not a vocal leader. We're missing that Longo, that Kiermaier, that Willie Adames. They brought that energy to the team. I'm hoping somebody will step up, and maybe it's going to be one of these rookies that is coming up and doing a really good job. We're just going to be probably 82 and 81 and 81 at the end of the season, and I don't see us going to the playoffs unless we pick up the bats a little bit.
I don't think a wild card team's going to come out of the American League East this year.
No, I'm hoping Aranda steps up. He's been playing really well. I think he's like 8th in all of Major League in batting average. So I'm hoping he stands up. He's first for the Rays in his batting average.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping he stands up and
Cavallero, I think, could be a leader too.
Yeah, I think he has a chip on his shoulder though.
Yeah.
But
maybe that's what it takes.
Yeah, great point with Aranda. He's actually probably the best hitter on the team right now. He's playing extremely well, and I think he's got the skill set to do it. But they've got to just build some leadership skill set, and that's what frustrates me about Cash. He doesn't kind of depend. They're too much in and out of the game.
Right.
You know, they don't have a step lineup where somebody can be there. And maybe it's going to be this kid Hop Song or the shortstop hockey song. What's his name? I'm missing it.
Yeah, you're as close as I could get.
Han Sung Kim. That's his name. Hong Sung Kim.
Hong Sung Kim. Okay, there we go. John, always good to hear from you. We got jammed phone lines. Thanks so much.
Go get him.
Okay.
Take care.
Let's go to Don in St. Petersburg next. Hello, Don.
Hey, good morning, Paul.
Good morning to you.
Thanks for the Tampa Bay Sun talking about their playoff game next Saturday. I think it's a team that kind of grew through the whole season.
I've heard the game is sold out too.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
And the amazing thing is they were at the bottom at the end of in December, but they've moved up since they started the spring schedule. And they have some great goal scorers. They don't just have one or two good scorers. They've got Giamona, and they also have Jade Moore, who are really good goal scorers. And I think you might see a championship game in Tampa. I mean, if they win, they get to host the championship game.
I would agree.
It'd be a fun game. But we haven't been to a game. I think it'd be fun to go and watch if we could.
Their goaltender's name is Schneider, and she is the goaltender, believe it or not, for the Jamaican national team. So you're seeing a lot of really good players who are not in the NWSL, but they are in a Division I pro league, and you're seeing a very competitive league. It is becoming more competitive because of the way these teams know each other now.
Well, and what's nice to see is that you're getting the young kids out there, the young boys and girls that are playing soccer themselves, and then they're going to soccer games. It's really growing the sport.
Yeah, it absolutely is. And you're right. It's a small enough stadium where you could fill it and not have to worry about how many empty seats you might have.
Yeah, very true.
The other thing I wanted to ask you about Caitlin Clark, her being out, does that really hurt the WNBA right now as far as the interest and also selling tickets?
Oh, absolutely it does. In fact, a lot of people don't realize, but the Indiana Fever, the WNBA team, outdrew the Indiana Pacers of the NBA. That's how popular she is, and how she is really, what she has done for the sport and for the league. It's just unbelievable. And she's a nice young lady as well, and I'm glad to see her having so much success. She's quite a player.
And I think she's out only for a few games, though.
Yeah. Don, I got to move along, but always good to talk to you.
Thank you, guys.
All right. We appreciate it. We need to hit our final break, and then Anthony will join us on the other side, and a real treat for you behind Anthony. Wait till you hear who's on the phone lines. More of the home team coming up. The father and son windows and doors home team here on the Tan Talk Radio Network. Last chance for you, Jacob. You ready?
Yeah.
On AM 1340 and 1350, FM 106.1, 102.3, and Facebook
Live.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
If you suffered damage from either or both Hurricanes Helene or Milton and are in need of some new windows or a new door, FAS Windows and Doors is the place to turn. Locally owned and operated, they can get you the best possible products at the best possible price. Now, right now, they're offering a $100 rebate on all windows and a $200 rebate on all doors. Financing is available with no payments and no interest and no money down for 24 months. Just go to their website, faswd.com. That's faswd.com to schedule an appointment and check out their inventory. It pays to shop local. and to go to a company that stands behind both their products and their service. Tell them you heard about them on the Home Team with Paul Porter, and they'll take special care of you. They're there when you need them. FAS Windows and Doors, FASWD.com.
Beach Dogs Friday are back this summer. On the last Friday home game of the month, the Clearwater Threshers become their alternate identity, the Clearwater Beach Dogs. Presented by Veterinary Emergency Group. Beach Dog Fridays are dog-friendly, and each dog ticket benefits a local pet charity each month. Bring your pup to play on the berm, eat a hot dog, and maybe meet our bat dog, Lucy May. Dog tickets are available for purchase in person at the Baycare Ballpark box office. All other tickets are available at threshersbaseball.com. One of the questions I'm often asked is, how do you do it? With my busy schedule of working for the Lightning, Buccaneers, and the Home Team, I need to be in very good health. One person I have to thank for keeping me in good health for years is Dr. Troy Stirk of Stirk Family Medicine. He's helped me keep my blood pressure in check, my heart running smoothly, and an overall healthy feeling that is confirmed by my lab results. If you're looking for a good family physician, I heartily recommend Dr. Troy Stirk at Stirk Family Medicine. You can reach his office at 813-264-7922. That's 813-264-7922. I'll tell you, Dr. Stirk is fantastic, and I'm sure you'll feel the same way if you become one of his patients. So now that you know my secret to staying healthy with a busy schedule, it's your turn. Call Dr. Troy Stirk at Stirk Family Medicine, 813-264-7922.
For the first time ever, the Home Team is endorsing a place for all of you fishermen. And the winner is Betts Fishing Center on Starkey Road, just a half mile south of Ulmerton Road in Largo. Betts, that's BETTS, is open 7 days a week from 9 to 6 Monday through Saturday and 9 to 4 on Sunday. Everything you need from clothing to AFCO and skinny water culture to Shimano and Daiwa reels. They also do repair of your equipment. Betts Fishing Center on Starkey Road, just a half mile south of Ulmerton in Largo, and online at customfishing.com.
10 years ago, my wife and I started a nonprofit ministry to help victims of domestic violence called Reach Out, Speak Out. Would you consider a donation to help our ministry? If you'd like to join our auxiliary board or just be a friend to Reach Out, Speak Out by helping with your time, talents, or treasures whenever you're available, please contact us by visiting reachoutspeakout.org. Please send your donation to Post Office Box 4979, Tampa, Florida 33677, 5013C number 47163. 0804. Much like the weather, your life could change at the drop of a hat. Don't be caught unprepared. You don't know what will happen tomorrow, but no matter what happens to you, you can make sure your loved ones are provided for with a life insurance policy from Auto Owners Insurance. Meet with a local independent agent and secure a policy now to rest easy knowing you're protecting the ones you love. Visit Vermost Insurance in Tampa Bay today at vermost.com.
The Florida State Fairgrounds is home to so much more than just the fair that runs every February. Concerts, trade shows, conferences, and competitions are all just a few of the things you'll find at the Florida State Fairgrounds and Mid-Florida Credit Union Amphitheater all year long. For the very latest information and schedules, visit floridastatefair.com. The Florida State Fair and so much more, all happening at the Florida State Fairgrounds and Mid-Florida Credit Union Amphitheater. We'll see you at the Florida State Fairgrounds.
Did you know that Cambridge Christian School Athletic Department was honored with the Kerry McDonald Award as the 2A Athletic Program of the Year for the second consecutive year? The CCS Lancers have had 71 district championships, 21 regional championships, 5 state championships, and 37 Final Four teams. Over 200 of our student athletes have signed to play at the college level, and one has joined an NFL team. Visit us today at ccslancers.com.
Time for more of the Home Team. Here again are Paul Porter and Jason Alessi.
Welcome back to our final segment, and glad to have you with us. Let's go right to the phone lines. Anthony is joining us next. Hello, Anthony. You're on the Father and Son Windows and Doors Home Team.
Hey, good rainy Saturday to you guys. First of all those upper United States regions should turn their fans towards Canada and send that smoke back toward their territory. Secondly, for a country that doesn't want to be integrated into the United States, they don't mind sharing their smog and smoke to us. Anyways, I disagree. I'm not a Panthers fan, but Sergei Bobrovsky should have gotten that MVP last season. I think the reason they gave it to McFraud was because they wanted to booster his ego. A guy who did squat in the final, and he's getting all these accolades. He's supposed to be the best player in hockey. And what has he done? He hasn't won the Stanley Cup. You can't be the best unless you have the cup, David. So, secondly, it's not a U.S. and Canada national rivalry. This is NHL hockey. So for me, it's amazing and perplexing that all Canada is backing, and they're forgetting their rivalry amongst their teams, and they're jumping on the Canada bandwagon.
Well, if you remember, though, what David Alexander said, that Calgary is certainly not pulling for Edmonton.
Well, that's I give them kudos, because that just doesn't make sense. It's not an international competition. It's a region. It's a national. It's within their own separate teams, and they're giving up their allegiance. I kind of connected with the SEC, college football. I've never seen any other conference jump on the bandwagon when other teams in their league comes into the championship plays, like they do with the Gators or Tennessee or Vanderbilt. It's amazing. Secondly, Skinner is not going to hold up to the attack of the Panthers. I don't know who's been seeing what games, but to say that the Panthers can't pull this one out is perplexing, and the difference was Marchand in that overtime second game goal. He was the main difference. He's the guy who spurred the Panthers to get on fire against Toronto. And I told you guys, man, with him, in addition of Marchand and Bennett and Matthew Tkachuk, that was a formidable line. You can't fight against that team. So it might go. I'm going to go. It's going to go 6.
Panthers in 6.
I think so, because they're fine.
All
They're
right.
just too aggressive.
All right.
And it's going to reveal McFraud as being what he is, a fraud. So thank you so much, guys.
All right. Thank you, Anthony. I think he disagrees with you, Jake, there.
It's all right. Oilers in 6.
Okay. All right. Okay. Our final caller of the day is the Rubber Cement Man. Hello, RCM.
Hello, Paul. I think that the Panthers are going to lose 4 straight games.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think you need to recheck your sources, because anybody can claim Babe Ruth is the longest home run anywhere. But according to Channel 13 News, they do acknowledge the fact that he did hit that ball in Tampa, but he also hit one for 600 feet in St. Pete.
Well, that's never been documented, I guess, because Donald actually mentioned he watched a biography on it, and they mentioned Plant Stadium as well.
The thing was, the executive director of St. Peter's Museum of History's got it documented, because evidently they called Channel 13 News because of the thing. And according, you can look it up. He crushed a home. This is what it says. He crushed a home run that left the old waterfront park and broke the window of the old Westcote Inn where the St. Pete Hilton is today. Home plate, that was more than 600 feet.
I've never heard that. I've never heard anyone hitting one 600 feet. But
well, I'm just telling you that.
All right. Well, we'll look into it.
They also have, in the same article, they also have that, that Tampa, the UT, where they had their ball field, was also claiming that they had the longest one. So they were saying it all depends upon who you ask. If, of course, you ask people that are in Tampa, they're going to claim it. But according to the Channel 13, they did an investigation, and they actually said that he had won 600. He was going 13 feet more.
All right. Well,
anybody hitting over 400, 450 feet, it doesn't matter where it is. It's great.
Yeah. All right. We got to move along, RCM. The music's taking us out. Matt, Jake, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you very much.
for
It was a
having us.
pleasure.
We'll have you back in July. We look
Sounds
forward
great.
to having you
Looking
back
forward to
in
it.
studio again. Thanks to Rock Riley and David Alexander for being a special guest on the program today. We'll talk to you next Saturday at 9 o'clock on the Father and Son Windows and Doors Home Team on the Tan Talk Radio Network, AM 1340 and 1350, FM 106.1, 102.3, and Facebook
Live.
WTAN Clearwater,
FM 106.1,
WDCF Dade City,
FM 102.3.
Listen.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Allison Keys. Smoke from Canadian wildfires is filtering down into parts of the U.S., causing air quality problems. It is already unhealthy for people and animals